Hey, I'm buckled up. I suggest you buckle up too, but I'm not moving in this moment because my partner's going into Princess Auto. And I'm not jealous because there is no Princess Auto outside of the corporate realm that we believe has legitimacy because it is corporate in nature. Which brings me to what I wanted to speak to, which is the universal ostrich farm situation that is dividing, which is part of the Fabian Society strategy. And this is the part that I was working on before we left home. And that is the debts that we create between one another. And I want you to recognize there are two different debts that are created, which I'm speaking in terms of what is private, debts between us who are real, who cause harm to one another and then must clear that muddied water between us in order to regain trust. And we do that through forgiveness, grace, and compassionate acceptance through understanding one another and why we did what we did. And this then relates to the double entry booking trust system of the public, where public officials within the corporate realm step out of the private into the public and do things because the captain at the helm of their ship says they have to, or they lose their position. And so it is that we create debts with those who are on the ground, such as what I heard to be 100+ people who have given up their private lives in order to go to this farm to protect the herd of ostriches that have a cull order because the people working within the legislation realm of the court system have granted a cull order for ostriches that have immunity to the virus that their herd did come into contact with, and many did lose their lives because of, and yet this cull order is ongoing from earlier in this year when those that are still living have developed immunity because they survived after others in the herd did not. So what I heard or didn't hear is the fact the debts that we create are between one another. So those who are on the ground, who have vested their life force energy to go to this scene in order to see for themselves what is happening, and the ones that are coming onto the scene in order to do their job for the public's sake. For the public's sake. Think of it. These are the ones who are accruing karma between us based on a letter of marque or a letter of commission that is given or issued by the souverain under true queen that would have been the monarch we are under the monarch of, archetypally, this being where these positions come from, as one in a truck goes over the median in that moment. Significant. These are the signs in my environment. And why I wanted to share this with you is because what is happening now is the division of us into factions. Religion is the religioning of us into tribes of belief systems, BS, based on belief systems that have us leave be the present moment in order to pursue an idea that draw us into the public. Dr. and Mrs. Vander Tramp is a mnemonic or memory tool used to refer to the verbs that use auxiliary verbiage. Auxiliary verbs are helper verbs, voluntarily chosen to convert themselves from avoir into être, where we step into the house of d'être, where we become the debtors, who pay because we who are on the ground see who comes for the ones that we came to protect and save, because this whole savior complex is ripe, and we're the ones that get picked off, such as these ostriches, who would, if those working on behalf of the corpse don't see what they are being drawn into. And then the carnage that comes, if that were to be the case, that today, in haste, public officials come to do their job and take out the herd, and those who are there get hurt or hurt those who come, and we then divide and are conquered, like the Fabian Society strategy always has been. We need to not only rise above this, we need to see it for what it is. We need to see it for the crosses we bear, and then lay bare the crosses that see us to be the center point of the X that marks the spot where the treasure is buried. Every ghost needs a host for its gnosis, to have us stop walking our own path in order to do what is asked by the one who wrote or spoke something of note, that was written and recorded within the public record, that has us then cord to that which is due energy because of the fees that are applied when we drop knees to be knighted by a king or souverain who changes our identity for us to step into the position and act against our conscience, act against our heart of hearts in order to do what is asked of us. If we breathe this in, if we realize that we are it which is speared by spirit, we see that at the center point of the X, there is a cross, and it is a double entry booking trust system that is heavenly and ecclesiastical in the public. But when it is just between us, it is debts created when we transgress between one another, and then credits that are given when we see where the other was coming from, and the fallacy of false ideologies that have brought them into realities that their soul will pay the price for. Conscience is the con of science, with a $sign through the S. That has been the God of the grantor of domain that claims dominion over that which is dominated. And if our mind is what is dominated, well, we will wait for a savior to come when we're the ones who must step up. We are the ones who must take up our pen to right the wrongs that we see, and to recognize that the public officials playing these roles on behalf of a house that is under the Arcana Imperi, which is the secrets of empire, we have all been deceived by, under a global fallacy that has global, B-A, apostrophe A-L, ball, the devil, of lived backwards, being how we are upholding this fictitious reality. It's insane. But then when we put a space in between, we see insane is when we are in the sanity that have us no longer drop knees to do jobs that cause harm to us all, and instead we come home to our heart center, instead of letting our choices to act unconscionably rule the roost of our house. The house of our hearts is the tabernacle where the ark of the covenant does not sit, for it is the coven of ants that the covenants draw us into the realm of through rabbinic law and Noahidic law. Rabbinic and Noahidic laws are how we have been drawn into false convictions that we are fully convicted by if we believe in them and leave be the present in order to do what is asked by that which was written or spoken of, and then we needed to read and look outside of ourselves in order to know that we got it right. If we write what is wrong instead, we no longer have to be part of this divisive strategy. That's all I've got to say for today. Thank you.